So, conversions. If we look at conversions, we're looking at three major things. We're looking at something that's length. This guy has a length, like kilometers and centimeters. Those are lengths of certain things, lengths of rooms, lengths of distance from place to place. We measure in meters, kilometers, and so on. Then we have weight, which is like mass, like you weigh a certain number of kilograms, and we can convert you down to grams and milligrams and so on. Then we have volume, which is not like sound, not like the volume coming out of your speakers, but volume of containers, like liters. A bottle of Coke, a certain number of milliliters, and we can convert that up to liters and down to milliliters and so on, and kiloliters. Alright, so this is the basic table we would use to convert from certain measurements down or up. And we look at kilo. Alright, let's start with kilo. Let's say we have 5 kilo. Alright, kilo is represented by 1000. Alright, you can see I'm using a decimal point. If I move that decimal point and I keep moving, if I'm measuring units down, now you can see that that measuring point, that decimal point will move. Let's say I was moving all the way down to meters. Okay, let's say I had 5 kilometers equals how many meters? And then we can see that we have 5,000 meters. If I took a decimal point and I moved it that many times, it would show you that that decimal point would move to the back, which then shows you that you have 5,000 meters. Alright, now, what do the rest of these mean? Okay, well, let's just look at another measuring unit. Let's start here. Let's say we had 7 liters. Alright, 7 liters of water, or 7 liters of Fanta grape, which is nice, by the way. And we wanted to convert that to milliliters. We want to know how many milliliters is that. So 7 liters equal to how many milliliters? And here we can see that that is equal to 7,000. I'll just add a number of zeros that it gets to milliliters. And we see we have 7,000 milliliters, which is quite simple. So 7 liters is equal to 7,000 milliliters. Alright, so now we can see the next one. Let's move on to the next one. Let's say we had milligrams. Alright, we had 5 milligrams. Okay, and that is equal to how many kilograms? Now we're going all the way up, so we're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. This is where this table becomes quite important, because now it's easy to find out. And we simply just keep adding zeros. Sorry, I made a small mistake there. There we go. We just keep adding zeros all the way up until we get to kilograms, which is over there. And now we can see we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 zeros, and we're going to put the decimal point there because that's exactly where we're stopping. Or we can take the decimal point and hop it across, and then we know exactly where it's going to stop. And it's going to stop inside the kilogram column, and we can see that we have 0,0000005 kilograms. It's a lot of zeros. I had to stop there and count how many zeros there were. But basically, it takes 1 million milligrams to get to 1 kilogram. Alright, so let's look at this. Let's look at an example, a worked example rather. 8 kilometers equal to how many centimeters? Okay, well, it's not easy in my head. I know that 8 kilometers meters is quite easy, but 2 centimeters is quite difficult. So we use the method, the KHDM DCM, or King Henry Died a Miserable Death, called maths. Alright, I know everyone enjoys that one. Alright, so we have 8 kilometers. 8 falls into the kilometers column, or the kilo column, and centimeters is all the way there. Alright, so let's just fill in the zeros, and we see that we have 800,000 centimeters, and that's that simple. So easy. Didn't even have to use any calculator, didn't have to do any multiplication tables, just had to fill in the zeros. So without even understanding what conversions are, it's actually quite easy to work, but I think it is important to understand, so do not quote that directly to me. I need you to understand what you're doing. Alright, so let's look at another worked example. Let's say we have 12 milliliters and we want to go to liters. Alright, so we're going from small to biggest. Now this is quite important to understand because the milliliters has double digits, but remember that only the first unit will be considered a milliliter. So I'm going to show you now it's going to work. And I'm going to write it wrong first because I want you to see that you can get caught. So that would be incorrect because that is not right. You do not write the 12 because that 10 is in fact a centiliter. Alright, that 10th unit is in fact the centiliter. So now I'm going to show you the correct way. You're going to write that first unit, the 10th unit rather, under the centi, which is going to be there. But we start with the back, so the 2, and there you can see there's your 12 milliliter rather. And that's a more easy terminology that we understand. We wouldn't say 1.2 centiliters, but here we go. Alright, here's the conversion. Add the 2 zeros, or take the decimal point and hop it across. And there we have it. So 12 milliliters is equal to 0,012 liters, and as you can see that's my decimal point that I've moved across, so it wasn't just something we had just made up. Alright, and there we go, and that's it. It's that simple. But it's very important to understand where your 10th unit goes and where obviously your first unit goes. Alright, let's try one more example. This is quite an important one, big numbers. Alright, so we're going 126 kilometers. Let's say we had 126 kilometers of road to drive. We wanted to know how many is that in meters. Alright, so let's see. We put our table down. This is quite easy to use. Alright, we're getting the hang of it now. Alright, so 126 kilometers. Now, important to understand now, this 126 is not going to fit into this table. It's actually only going to fit into the one part of the table. Alright, remember we're trying to see how many meters is this 126 kilometers. So we're not going to write it like that. That is incorrect. Alright, because that is not 126 kilometers. That's actually just 1.26 kilometers. So we have to understand that 126 kilometers is actually all in that one section. And remember, like we saw in the previous example, that the small unit goes into the small side. So we got 126 kilometers. That 6 unit is actually the first kilometer. Alright, or rather the unit of kilometers. Okay, then we're going to meters. So all we have to do is add in the zeros, and then we can see we have 126,000 meters. Alright, 126 kilometers is equal to 100.
Well, its official name is the International System of Units, or SI units for short, which stands for French Système International. But the term metric system is still often used to refer to this system.